Hey guys, welcome to the Amateur Watch Collector channel with me, CG. Full disclosure, this is not completely a rant video, but it's specifically on the topic of kind of buying, selling, and trading watches on watch forum sites. First and foremost, I am wearing the Blue Squale, as suggested by Purple Haze on the Black NATO, and you're right, I like it. I think it looks great on the Black NATO. But Purple Haze also suggested a green dial watch, which got me looking for watches with a green dial. So it's kind of what triggered me to get back on lionseek.com, which kind of is fed by all the forums, as I'm sure many of you know, to help you find different watches that are being sold by different private sellers. And so I went on there and I was looking at either maybe getting a green dial, green Squale 1545, maybe a Steinhardt. So while I was looking on the site, which obviously I have to confess because I said I wouldn't buy anything in my last video between now and the end of the year, but I haven't, but I was tempted, so I was looking around. Don't judge me. So I found one that I thought I might like. So I sent a private message asking if the watch was available. Well, I get a message back saying, yes, it's available if I was interested. So I asked him if he could send me a picture with the watch and his forum handle name and today's date on a piece of paper next to the watch. Just for my own personal, to know, yes, it's his watch and this is the date. I asked him for the picture. Yeah. So he writes me back and he says, I'm trying to enjoy my coffee on a beautiful Sunday morning in Tampa. And I have tons of feedback on the forum and tons of feedback on eBay. Why would I be trying to scam you out of the money? So he was obviously offended by my asking. So I wrote him back and I told him, well, enjoy your coffee. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. I'm also in the Tampa Bay area. I hope you have a great day. And I left it at that. So on principle, I'm not going to get the watch from this guy because I think he was, he was unnecessarily rude. If you're the Stig, if you're watching this, I know you told me to stay strong. Inadvertently, I have because I'm not purchasing anything, especially not from this guy. But anyways, so he was obviously really offended by it. And here's my thing. I understand on the forum website, he probably has a lot of feedback. Saying he's a great seller, this, that, and the other. So I know a lot of you guys are thinking, okay, well, he has tons of feedback on the forum. That should be good enough. You should be able to look up his references, no problem. And he shouldn't have to send you any additional pictures. That might be some of you guys' perspective. And that's perfectly okay. But let me flip it to you and give it to you from my side. A lot of people that are out there looking at it, okay, out there looking at watches, all right? Like I'm making this video now in the evening that I've put my kids to bed. Okay, during the daytime, when I'm running around with them, that I might be able to sneak a peek at something going on online, I just don't have as much time as I would like to have to sit down and search for somebody's feedback, specifically on the Watch You Seek forum. And if any of you guys have been on that website, it's not that easy to just search for somebody's username and find all their forums. Some handles don't come up. Okay, some handles don't come up. So if you're selling it and you want my $450 because you're selling the watch, I assume you want somebody to buy it. I don't think it's a lot to ask for you to take a piece of paper, scribble some stuff on it, snap a picture, and send it to me. I've asked for that on all the other watches that I've gotten off the forum. For the Squale, I asked for it. He was more than happy to provide it. No issues there. For the Obris Morgan, he provided it. No issues there. And he was out and about. He said, hey, I can't snap the picture now because I'm out, but I'll send it to you when I can. And I said, you know what? Yeah, no problem. No worries. So in those instances, I understand it's inconvenient. Maybe if somebody gets in contact with you before you're able to get me the picture and they're willing to buy it without asking for the additional picture, then fine. I accept that I miss out on the opportunity to buy your watch. That's fair enough. Okay? But it is my money. I'm trying and wouldn't want to just lose it in a scam. And I'm not saying everybody's out there to scam. And yes, somebody could snap me the picture and then send me an empty box. I understand that. But this is just one extra thing that it just makes me feel better handing over or passing the money over through PayPal. And I don't think it's a lot to ask. I sold my citizen to a nice guy in Scotland. You know, and he asked me to do a bunch of extra stuff for him. Hey, you know, how much you think it would be to send it over here? And I had no problems looking it up. I'm the one looking to sell the watch. So why would I have a problem doing that? Either I want to sell it or I don't. Okay? Either you want to sell it or you don't. So if you're, you know, if to get offended, you know, because I asked for a picture of the watch or something, and who doesn't have a phone with a camera? You find any scrap piece of paper, write the info, snap a picture, send it, and be on your way. Be done with it. And if you don't want to do it, fine. Say you don't want to do it. But don't think so much of yourself that, oh, how could I possibly? I've never cheated anybody out of any money. You know, I generally think I'm actually a very honest person with integrity that deals with people the way that I would want to be dealt with. But nobody knows that dealing with me on a forum or buying a watch from me on a forum. And it's not like eBay, where eBay's guaranteeing your money in that sale. So if you don't get it or whatever, you're going to get your money back through eBay. I think that if you're selling something as a private seller on a forum site, okay, the burden is on you to provide proof or evidence of possession or whatever it takes to make the other person feel comfortable enough to send you their money through PayPal. If you're going to get pissed off about it, don't sell a watch on a forum. Just don't. You know, I guess really, you know, and a lot of you guys might feel differently, but from my perspective and from a potential buyer's perspective, a lot of these forums are not very easy to search for people and search the feedback that the other forum users might have provided them. It's not that simple to do. You know, they got a lot of other things going on. One, they're working a job. They come home. Maybe they got to take care of kids. They don't have a lot of time to search through everything and go digging through for your feedback. He could have just sent me a link with some of his feedback and say, hey, look, here's some feedback. Could have done that. Nope, he didn't opt to do that. He didn't opt to do that because he is so above reproach that it was just completely, my request was completely ridiculous and unfounded. I don't know you from Adam, and I'm going to give you $450. I don't think it's unreasonable. I'm sorry. I don't think it's unreasonable. I would have no problem doing that if I was selling a watch to somebody else. I think when you're selling it through a private forum, the seller holds burden of proof that they're a reliable person, that they're a person for integrity, provide whatever they can provide to give the potential buyer some comfort, or, you know, to feel comfortable enough to where they're willing to send you the money and hope that they get a watch in a, you know, in a box and not an empty box mailed to them. And if you're not comfortable doing it and you don't want to do it and you don't want to deal with the hassle, then don't sell on those forums. Put it on eBay, deal with whatever they pay you. And you know what? People are more uncomfortable to buy it on there because eBay is going to give them their money back if you screw them over. You know, I just think that sometimes, you know, we get so wrapped up in ourselves that you kind of really have to see it from the other person's perspective. All right, it's their money that they're handing over. If they need a little bit extra to make them feel comfortable, fine. And if you're not willing to do it, then say, look, here's where my feedback is. You know, look at it. If you still want to do it, great. If you don't. But don't be a jerk about it. Okay, if you're dealing with people on these forums, you don't know them personally. If I knew you personally, I wouldn't be contacting you through the forum, right? My opinion is that when you're selling through private forums, you have to be willing as a seller to potentially take those extra steps to make somebody feel comfortable giving you their money. I don't think it's a lot to ask. If a picture makes me feel better about it, more comfortable in the transaction, I don't think it's a big deal, because he's not going to send the watch till the money goes through on PayPal. So there's very minimal risk, especially when you're dealing with PayPal. There's minimal risk on the seller's end. Why? Because they're going to see the money go into their account right away. If they send it with a tracking number through PayPal, and it gets to me, it says shipped on the tracking information on PayPal, and then I try to turn around and say, hey, they didn't give me the watch they gave me. I want my money back. I'm going to lose that argument with PayPal, because on their end, for the sellers, from the seller's end, the tracking information shows that the item was delivered. So who's assuming more risk? the buyer. The buyer. I hope I don't end up doing a lot of ranting videos like this. So that's pretty much it. That's what I've got. Pretty much it. All right, guys. Have a good one. CG out.